At home. My name is Daniel Iang, your host on the Family Circle Show. We want to welcome you again to another episode of this amazing program. We received so much requests from immigrants, and the content that we are running now is just for the new immigrants in Canada so that they know how to settle down and make informed decisions. Today again, we'll go deeper into looking at some areas where we feel that you may need some information. I have in the studio today, to my immediate left, Mr. Favor and Mrs. Linda Eromosele. You are welcome to this program.
Thank you for having us.
Yes, I know that for our grand hosts, we know you and we want to know you in case for those who are just joining us for the first time. We have our grand host here with us in person of Mr. Yomi and Reverend Blessing Ajayi. You are welcome again to this program.
Thank you very much for having us.
Yes, very quickly to just run into this program. I know you've spent about 2 years, going to 3 years in Canada. A lot of people complain about being homesick. Homesick. You know, I hear people, when you go to some people's house, particularly the black, there's this small bottle, they put D3 on it. I don't know if you use D3. You understand? You understand what I'm saying? So, what's your experience about home tree? Sorry, I say home tree. What's your experience about homesick? Don't allow my D3 to confuse what I'm saying, but let's hear you. So, yeah.
Okay, for me.
Okay.
Anybody can go. Anybody can go.
Let her go because.
Okay, she came in first.
That experience.
All right. Okay.
So when I came in as an international student for my postgraduate.
Okay.
And I'm going to go straight to your question about dealing with being homesick.
Yeah.
So when I came, I was really homesick. To be honest, I was looking very thin. I wasn't eating well. This is because prior to coming to Canada, naturally I don't eat alone. I like eating with people. And so if I'm eating with one person, two persons, oh my God, I can finish a pot of food. But if I'm to eat alone, that means I won't eat. So that was a problem to me. So I didn't see who to eat with.
Okay.
But beyond that, I didn't take Canada as my home.
Okay.
We've become homesick when we don't make this place our home.
Oh, okay.
We keep, we keep thinking, I have my better home back home. I have my comfort back home. I have a better weather back home. So until I changed that
mentality,
I was looking thin, dark, ugly. Yes, I was looking ugly. I was always calling my husband. We're always on phone as if he's in Canada with me, until I learned to make where my surrounding, my home.
Oh, great.
I was continually sick. So that was the only way I was able to solve that problem. I started looking around me to say, this is my home right now. And immediately I accepted it as my home, I was able to overcome that being homesick.
Wow, that's great. So,
very interesting.
Mr. Favor.
Yeah.
Let's get your experience.
Actually, I didn't experience that homesick that much.
Because you came into Mina, yeah.
So, I know when you have your family back in Nigeria, then you migrated to Canada. So, it was easy for me because she had probably done the major work, major lifting.
So, she became like the forerunner.
Yeah.
John the Baptist.
She went to prepare the way.
Yeah.
But I tell you that it's not easy.
Correct.
No, it's not easy. When you're a married person and you come alone, it's not easy. The cold, I came in during winter. The cold, the loneliness can drive you crazy. Sometimes you're alone, and at that time you've not started making friends. So it can drive you crazy. So it was not easy. I found myself crying many nights.
Really?
And how long does it take before he came?
It took him 7 months.
Okay, so you cried.
Only 7 months.
So you cried for 7 months.
Yes, I cried for 7 months. I'll be going to look for a house. He was going with me everywhere. So I think the person that we should praise would be him, because we don't have the same time. but he has to be online to talk to me. So
To
whenever
keep
I'm
you
going
alive.
yes, whenever I'm going to is at work, he must talk to me. If he's bathing, I call him, he will run out of the bathroom.
Wow.
So he was.
What an amazing husband.
So he was just carrying me everywhere and he didn't know. I will get lost, I'll call him instead of looking for Google Map.
You say,
And
I
then
lost.
I'll
I have
tell
not
him-
been to Canada before.
Yes, and I'll tell him where I am. He will put it on the map in Nigeria and
And
tell me the direction.
oh my God. You were really being spoiled by your husband. Well, that's amazing.
Yeah, that was it actually. It's not easy when you have built up this relationship with your spouse for a while, and all of a sudden you guys are not together. So it will be difficult
I feel
for
you.
the
I feel
other
you.
party to settle wherever they go, as in wherever they decide to settle. It will be challenging. So I had to take up that responsibility to, be a road, as in I call it that I was at Google Map. So, but it was interesting. But at the same time, I learned that you never can tell how bonded you and your spouse is until when you guys are
Separated.
So that's when you know,
For a time.
wow, something is missing somewhere. So, but good thing, thank God for the phone. So we're always communicating. So, but when I came into Canada, she has, like I said, she has already gone there to make things easy. So I didn't feel that homesick that much.
Okay.
But it's just that it was a different environment. Yeah, unlike back home, you have your neighbors always around you and all. But this time around, you're all by yourself.
People
with your
say I
spouse.
will not talk to you.
So that was
Oh, the same thing. No, you are.
it was difficult communicating with other persons, your neighbors. So because where we're coming from, your neighbor can come to your house,
Correct.
like everybody's together. So it's quite different here. So
I think I'll come back to that. This question of greeting and they are not talking to you. Everybody, I think it's a national anthem here.
Yeah.
It affects everybody. I want to ask the Ajais, because they are veterans. They've been here for years. New immigrants. Many of them have what we call financial challenges. And most of them don't know how to balance it. Now, what I want to ask is this: what are those major financial challenges that you think these people will have when they come here? And how do you think they can sort it out so that those listening to us should be able to learn, so that when they come in, there is this thing my father used to tell me those days, is a parable that a foretold war does not kill a lame man. Because the lame man that knows that there's going to be war in 2 years would have been crawling out of danger. So that's why we're asking this question. So any of you can start maybe you start, sir.
Yeah, thank you for the.
What are those major financial,
Yeah, the major one that I can identify has to do with the housing. Accommodation is unlike any other place. It's very expensive here to get an accommodation. So when one is coming,
When you say expensive, you have to, expensive in terms of what? Is it in terms of money, in terms of credit?
money. Yeah, because let's say credit is one aspect, because
Okay.
before you get a place to rent, the person that is renting out the accommodation to you want to see that you are financially capable,
To continue paying.
So
Okay.
they might want to do a credit check on you. But I've seen a situation whereby they don't have any credit check, and somehow one of their daughters is schooling here already, so they had to rely on the daughter's credit
History or record.
yeah, for them to be able to qualify. So what they now told them, just to prove to them that they have the financial capacity, that they requested for 6 months upfront payment, which is quite
On the high
much
side.
on the high side. So, but because the person in question, they have the financial capacity, they were able to provide that money and they overcome that. But there are a lot of people that they don't have that kind of finances.
Capacity, yeah.
So my advice to them is that before coming, they should
Prepare
their mind and have enough money with them.
Because the job may not come immediately.
Exactly. The job, in most cases, the job will not come immediately.
Wow.
And similarly, I have another example. There's a lady that just came. She got a PR from UK, and she landed with a son. And she was preparing that the husband was coming to join them from UK. So my advice to her is that since you have not been able to get something going, let your husband keep
the job
in UK. He will still be supporting you financially here while you are looking for.
While you settle.
Exactly. So that's my advice. Because if the two, the spouse, the couple, they are not working, then that will put a lot of financial pressure on them. So if it's possible for one person to come first, like in that example I've given, so you have somebody else, the other couple outside the Canada that has his job to maintain. So
they should balance it.
Balance it, exactly.
Okay. Reverend, what's your opinion? Financial advice to those who are just new immigrants, and what do you think, maybe one challenge that you think they face when it comes to finance?
Okay, like I said, like it's already known that they have to get themselves prepared before they come. But if they come here, whether they have enough money or not, they have to be careful on how they manage the little one they have.
Okay.
And at the same time, they have to secure accommodation is very important. There is a food bank where you can actually reach out to get food. There is a lot of resources where you can support yourself to get food, depending on the category of immigration that you belong. Some people can be permanent resident, some can be students, some can be refugee. So depending on the category, for people that are permanent resident, at least they are sure that they are receiving money in the system. And then, government can be compensating them or their children somehow. At least something will be coming in. For those that are children, refugees, they might not be. Refugees receive too. Yes. For students may not receive, because it's expected that they have money already, as they claim that they bring money to sustain them. So you have to make sure that you don't go into too much credit.
So you don't have credit in this bank, credit that bank,
and just go and spend recklessly because you don't know. And knowing that the job is not just there, you have to conserve yourself financially so that you can be able to plan and get yourself well into the system so that you don't be in a place of struggle, right? And then for you to make more money or get more income into your pocket, you must be humble. Sometimes you may not see the exact job you're looking for, so ensure that you can go for whatever that is available for you to hold on until you
land
to what
your
you
dream
want.
job.
Exactly. So that's what I can say about finances.
Okay.
Yeah.
I want to ask Madam Linda Eromosele, based on what Mr. Yomi said, that number one thing is housing, and he gave us criteria, or let me say categories of how it goes. When you came in as a student, because you said you came in as a student, did you fall into that issue of rent, credit? How did you solve your own housing problem?
Oh my God. When Daddy was speaking, it just took me back
to remember.
I don't know how they're going to change that, but this credit score of a thing is really destroying a lot of immigrants.
Particularly students now.
Students, yes, particularly students, because not everybody comes in as refugee or PR.
Yes.
For students, it's really destroying international students. So when I came in my school, because I attended Brock University, so the graduate school, they help you to get a place.
For some time.
Sometime then you can pay. So we paid from Nigeria
Mm-hmm.
already. And so when I came in, my landlady was good enough to send someone to pick me at the
Wow.
Toronto
Airport, wow.
and drove me to St. Catharines.
Oh,
I paid.
St. Catherine,
Yes,
like
St. Catharines.
3 hours journey.
Yes, so I
Wow.
paid, but it wasn't. I paid when I got to her house because I didn't have Canadian dollars to pay. They didn't want me to do transfer from Nigeria, so that was okay. But when I was not done with school, I stayed there for 7 months. When I was done with school, I needed to move out. It was a problem. They were asking for credit score, and I was just the only job I've ever done was a teaching assistant. I had a job at the university, but I didn't have credit score, and I finished. It was a problem. I was going from one place to the other. When my husband came in, and we hadn't gotten a house because of credit score, we had to stay in Airbnb. And you see, the place of, I don't know, maybe if I want to shoot up your question, but what affected us was we didn't have a family. We didn't have people we can say, this is my family, this is my sister, this is my brother.
Okay.
Not basically same parents, but maybe somebody from your area that could support you. We didn't have that support. So it was, it was terrible
struggling.
for us. Yes.
So why don't you look for such opportunity before you came?
No, I came in as a student.
No, even as a student, you're supposed to have a landing
It may
place.
not really be. It may not.
I'm
It's
just
not.
saying.
It's not that. It's not that
Okay.
easy.
If you're coming as, even if you're coming as a PR, it's even still difficult to just stay and look.
No, sometimes. So the thing is that you don't have them before you came.
No, we don't have them.
Okay, you don't know.
No, we don't
Okay,
know
Yeah.
anybody.
okay.
And
Most times
if
you don't
you're-
know.
Yeah, you won't know, especially if you're not in Canada and nobody has told you this is it.
This house.
You won't know. It is when you come in, you pass through the terrain.
Even when you know, I also came in as a student, right? Even when you know, my friend, that's my, let me say, like my colleague, my junior colleague, that we work together. You understand? Came in here, we discussed all those things. When I was coming, I told him everything. No problem, you come. No problem, all those things. But I got here. I had to talk to my wife. I had to do this. Man, the thing became.
Yeah, the story changed.
The story changed. So you see, it's not about that. I just wanted to get a feel in terms of what it was saying. So it's corroborating what
And I think I want to add up something
Yeah.
to when it comes to area of housing.
financing. Yes.
See, the system always also is not that friendly for people that are in.
Okay.
You must yes. You see, like, maybe you come, the people are already there. Landlord, you have house, you have this. Them themselves, they are walking through to be able to handle the challenges. Like I will say, even like you are now, you have not really entered into the system. Entering into the system that now you now say, okay, you have your house, you have this, you have that. Managing it and sustaining it is one of the
Another
highest
thing.
challenge you have, right? If you have a house, you need to pay property tax, pay your bills, pay your rent. I mean your mortgage regularly without missing the
After
date.
you have even paid mortgage, you still be paying property tax.
Yes.
Wow.
And then you have to maintain. You have to make sure that your lot and all those things is well, like winter now. You don't pass that place and anybody for insurance and all that bills. It's so much to maintain. So now tell me, somebody is coming from Africa, want to rent a house. For example, you have a family of 5 and you want to live in a basement of 2 rooms. And then somebody coming like 2 people, 2 family, husband and wife. Who do you give paying the same money?
I'll give the 2.
Okay. The 2 will come, they will go out. But the whole family will come and they will stay there. And not only that, they will complain that the room is not cold, is cold. Heat is not enough. This one, internet is not this. Because they are there. So the landlord has to spend more money in making sure that he supply all those things in full with those people. Rather, 2 people that stays and go to work in the morning and come back in the evening. They don't have to trouble for anything, even if there is no heat on. It's only when they come back they play. So
worry.
it's less handled for the landlord, right?
That's
so
great.
now a landlord that is struggling is always thinking of how to meet up his rent and all that. Definitely will make a choice. And at that point, as a new immigrant may complain that, look, this one do this one do that. Except when God lead you to a very good place.
That's what God did for us.
Yeah. There are people that are just
It
nice.
was the hand of
It
God.
was just actually the end.
Yes, because when Airbnb, just in 1 second, I'm going to just summarize it. When Airbnb for 1 month, we're trusting God and Lord, we need your help. We had first and last rents, but we don't have credit score. We don't have anybody to say.
And you have a job too.
Yes, I had a job. He didn't have a job because he just came. But I had a job. Even
That you can
beyond-
maintain the rent.
But even beyond that, we had the first and
They
last.
just needed the credit score.
You know,
Yeah,
they
that
don't
credit
needed
score.
a credit score, and we didn't have any family. Which family is very important, like people that can say, "Yeah, I know them." Like we didn't know
Like
the likes of Reverend Blessing.
Were you in church then?
Yes, I was in church.
And your church did not support you?
I don't know, get into some churches they have this tribal kind of churches. The Nigerian church I went to was this Western kind of tribal church.
Okay.
You know, and you just
Stay on your lane.
on your lane, that is rivers. You don't even belong in the category. So I was just so it wasn't worth it.
Well.
Then we didn't have, and then we started praying, trusting God. It was God came through. A woman, it was an Italian woman
Wow.
that we walked into, and after everything, she introduced us to the manager of the property. And the woman is a Nigerian. She just came in, just I love this couple. She just loved us and said,
That's good.
"I'm the mother in Canada." So we got that house. It was a condo, no credit score. The landlord is Italian. He reduced rent for us.
Wow.
Not knowing us. Our case was just the supernatural. But that 1 month we suffered.
Okay. Well, we go on a break very quickly. When we return, we'll still be looking at the issue of new immigrants, their challenges, and how they can find their way out. See you soon.
They say every heroine don't wait to be served. She writes her own story. Every woman has a story of strength, courage, love, and ambition. They rise above challenges, break through careers, and inspire us all. Join the heroines Blessing Ajayi, Adechishola Otiba, Emma Answer, Kim Ambrose, and Mokesh Burke as they take you on a journey through the fascinating world of women, with stories that touch your heart, challenge your mind, and uplift your spirit.
Accomplishing, if I'm in any sort of pain about anything, they're there for me. And to me, that is the embodiment of sisterhood.
And which is what we bring to the table. If we were all the same, then it would not have the power that it needs to have. But if you're unique and you're bringing different skill sets, that is how we build each other up. That is how we help each other, empower each other.
So sisterhood is really celebrating each other's successes. Successes.
To them about their problems, their challenges, and that's how I started building my network.
And like we all said, every woman has a heroine within her. Until you discover
This, the Heroine Show. Showing on the Black Community Canada TV on YouTube and other BCCTV platforms. Join the conversation on socials and lend your voice, because every woman is a heroine.
All right, viewers, welcome back to the Family Circle Show. I'm still your host, Daniel Inyang, and with me still in the studio, I still have the Roboseles. Thank you so much for your time, and the Ajayis. I want us to look at something very critically. You said something about greeting people and they're not looking at your side and all that. Now, how have you been able to manage your networking? How does network work in Canada? How has it helped you as a new immigrant?
Thank you for that. Networking is a very important aspect of a new immigrant in Canada.
Oh.
Because if you don't network, what is supposed to take you like 30 seconds or 30 days to achieve, it will take you 10 years.
Okay.
Network is very important. For example, let's say you are a Nigerian, or African, or Caribbean. There are communities representing your ethnic
Your catchment, yeah.
or your catchment area, their communities, attend their events. The easiest place to start it with is in the church or mosque or whatever be your religion. Try to go to church, go to mosque, try to attend those events. Even if you type on social media on Google or Facebook,
You see it.
so Ghana community, Nigerian community, you'd see it. Find that, attend their events, interact, connect with people, and then for your neighbors, they don't respond to greeting. But what I did in my own time, because I guess it's the Canadian
Culture, yeah.
culture. They don't respond, but I kept on greeting.
Correct.
And I just kept on doing that because it's not that I'm trying to, it's what I do back home.
I don't want it to
my
leave
neighbors.
you.
I don't want to leave you, so I kept on doing that. Festive periods, I extend my Merry Christmas, Happy holiday, Happy Easter, and all that. And with time, they will just get comfortable with you. Always say hi, and they don't respond hi to you.
Yeah.
So don't say that they don't like you.
So
They
you
like
should stop.
It's just that it's their culture.
Sure.
You introduce your culture
Sure.
in a very friendly way and attend events.
Wow.
Be deliberate about connecting with
People.
If not, you're going to be lonely and suffer. You won't get information. Canada is built on information. Without information, you won't go far.
So it's yours to discover Ontario or like that. All right, let's hear you, sir.
Support what she just said. It's very important to connect with people, especially people from your own, probably your race or tribe. And because with that, you can actually achieve a lot. Because you never can tell who will give you this information.
Correct.
Because information is very key.
True.
So, attending events, going to maybe study meetings or workshops organized by probably your race or your community. With that, you connect with people that, okay, I do this, I do that, I do this. Like, okay, yeah, that's good, that's good. Before you know it, you never can tell who is looking for what you do.
Yeah.
The service.
So there'll be a referral kind of.
That's it. Because with that, you can go far. Before you know it, you are scaling. So,
Great.
and also, in terms of your neighbor, because I believe that whatever you are good at,
Let people
don't
see it.
let people know it. Let people
Okay.
see it. Be willing to provide service. Be willing to help, even though they are not going to pay you for it.
Like a volunteer stuff.
Exactly, volunteering.
Oh, great.
So
Thank you.
be willing to do it, to help, provide help. My neighbor close to me, how did we get to know we're so close right now? Because now I saw that they were in need of certain things and I provided that service for them. And like from there, they welcomed us, they invited us to come and have dinner with them.
And they're not Africans.
And they're not Africans,
Indians.
they're Indians.
They are
So-
best of friends.
That's
So
great.
that's how we do. So with that, you gradually, from that,
You
neighbor,
integrate.
they linked us to another neighbor that was also not very close, but somewhere within. So before you know, we have
Family.
we have already started building families.
That's
and
great.
we go to dinners
Wow.
together. So with them, I got to eat Indian food, eat other tribe food. So it's
Be flexible, be
beautiful.
open-minded.
Be open-minded.
Right. Okay, let's talk to the veterans. So
Yeah.
networking.
Yeah.
What advice do you
well,
give?
networking is a key, very much key. I want to just look at our people, the new immigrants, when they come, most of them feel that they are ignored. You're not. When you come into the system, it seems you have enough time, but the people already there, they have their own hustles, right? So in case you try to call somebody or you try to have attention of somebody once and maybe you don't get it, it doesn't
Don't
mean that
stop
you have
there.
to give up.
Continue.
Don't feel that you are ignored. Just find out when the time that is okay for them.
Convenient, yeah.
I always say that you that want something, you know how to
persist.
go for it.
Yeah.
Right? So the fact that they will say, okay, no, our people, they don't, no, everybody. In fact, for me, if someone come to you, I appreciate them even more because it's not easy for someone to leave house to come and visit you.
True.
Even to call.
Call.
So you yourself don't feel that, you're disturbing somebody. No, I don't want to. No. Maybe you are the one that is feeling like that, not necessarily the person.
Actually, you are the one feeling like that.
Yes, exactly. So if you do that, you put yourself away from creating that bond with people, getting involved and engaging which is one of the vitamin C that you need as you come to the country.
There is something Jesus said. Jesus said that a sick man looks for a physician. So it's not the other way. So if you are the one sick,
and
you gotta look
also
for your
and also remember that time is your time. The next time, somebody else will be your turn, and you'll be attending to that person.
Correct.
Once you have that in mind, you don't feel anyhow.
True.
Because everybody had their season, So
all right, let's hear Mr. Yomi. What's your view?
Yeah, like everyone has said, network is very important in this society. For one to go far, to get even if it's your job they're looking for, you need referrals. For one to get navigate through the labor market.
True.
So once a new immigrant lands, my advice to them is to find a community, a functioning community, maybe a church or mosque or gatherings of their nationals, background nationals, where they can navigate and network, because it's very important aspects, of this society, for them to be able to find that easy landing.
That's great. Well, you see, you have all said so much, and I believe that our viewers are there noting some things out. I want to sincerely thank you for your time. And I know that very, very soon, we will still invite you to come and share some other aspect of family. We have a lot of things about family we can discuss so much, and we invite you in. And also our grant hosts, we want to thank you too for always being there to give us advice from all your experiences. Now, viewers, I believe that this is your show, the Family Circle Show, and I know that you have learned so much today. If you are there, you have any information, you have anything you want us to discuss, reach out to us. You can follow us on our YouTube, Black Community Canada TV, and you can also drop your information where we can pick up and raise as a discourse, because we normally bring in resource people to the panel who will discuss this issue with us. Thank you, and we wish to see you very soon. We sign out.